You're going to think I'm crazy, but as a young monk, I jumped at the opportunity to attend funerals. For me, funerals were a reality check, a confirmation. It was kind of like an impetus to dig deeper. I think one of the most powerful things you can do in your life is to regularly meditate on death. It's like death brings everything into perspective. All our kind of worries, all our anxieties, all our insecurities, like everything pales into insignificance, at least for the time being. Death kind of reminds us what's important and urges us to pursue it now. But it's amazing, we kind of live in a world where death is like sterilized, sanitized, and carefully kind of sealed off from public view. But why? Why do we? People are not perfect. People's conceptions are often not perfect. And but that doesn't mean you can't have a relationship. When we're answering the first question about when to walk away from a relationship, we walk away from a relationship when we realize there's no room for growth, there's no room for improvement, there's no room for progression. So I guess I have both experiences in my life, connecting with people who had imperfections, but there was no room for growth, there was no openness for dialogue, there was no progression there. And oftentimes in those times I wasted a lot of time trying to change things, change relationships, change people who didn't want to be changed. And therefore sometimes you have to just give people space, breathing space, and then come back later. We pray for the wrong things. Like there's a story, I love this story. Whenever something bad used to happen, the mother would always go in front of God and make a sincere prayer, and her angry son would just watch. Trial after trial, tribulation after tribulation, she would go and pray, and the angry son would just watch. And then finally, one day he came to her frustrated and angry, and he said, "Why do you go to God? God never solves the problems anyway. It's a useless waste of time." And when she heard that, she went to God and made her prayer again. And this time, He heard her prayer. She looked at God and she said, "Please allow the words of my son to not affect me. Please, Lord, give me the strength to deal with this difficulty." And in that moment, the penny dropped. He realized